Hey guys, what's going on? It's Tweak Music Tips Tuesday. What's up, everybody? Woo, we got raids coming in today. Raids coming in. Big shout out to everybody with the raids. Or big shout out to our sponsor, kpodj.com. They've been helping people for 18 years with their DJ and lighting, and now they're helping people with their streaming. We got to make sure we check them out, kpodj.com. Last thing we're trying to do is we're trying to build our YouTube, so make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's tweakmusictips.com/Tweak Music Tips. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification anytime we have new interviews like Lil Jon. You know, this way you get updates. Just to get that, this way you don't miss anything. So make sure you do that. Man, so many things. Big shout out to the Club Killers. Shout out to them, everybody at Club Killers family. Thank you so much. Alex Dreams, DeVille, Earwax, all the other people, man. I'm sorry. I'm gonna forget everybody. So big shout out to you guys. Lou, we were just on text and everything. Big shout out to them. Big reason why this is happening today. So shout out to them. Grammy-winning rapper, producer, DJ, yes sir, with groundbreaking styles from crunk, EDM to dance hall, pop, and more. He's a radio personality. He's a TV personality. I mean, this guy has such an extensive. All I've been doing is research. I've been researching for like 4 days, and every time I find something new about the guy. So I'm really excited to have him on. Guys, I need you to hit me with the ones in the chat if you're excited to see Lil Jon. All right. So the one and only Lil Jon. What's up?
What up?
I didn't have 24 minutes to give you your full intro with your discography, man.
I don't need all that shit.
Man, big shout out to you, man. Thank you so much for coming on with us, brother.
Oh, it's all good. What up to all the DJs out there checking in, sharing, and hosting, and all that good shit. Hey, you know what? Before we even get into it, all y'all motherfuckers in here need to follow my goddamn Twitch too, goddammit. Follow my motherfucking Twitch, and you need to check out my live streams every goddamn Saturday night, 10 p.m. if you ain't already checked it out. You will be surprised if you have never seen my shit. Just put that out. Boom. Now we can get started.
Mods, I need you to put it in the chat. It's so is it twitch.tv/Lil Jon, right? LILJON. Got it. Yep. Twitch mods, I need you guys to put that in there. Same thing with Facebook. Make sure we put his links in there. Everyone needs to follow him. I love that. Okay, excellent. Yeah. Guys, right before we start, we need more DJs to see this, as many people in the community to see it. So I need you guys to host this on Twitch, and I need you to share on Facebook. We broke 200 shares on Facebook, and Facebook's actually becoming a little antiquated, but the Twitch is really where it's at. So we're looking forward to seeing it over there. Everybody rating. We got more.
Let's talk a little streaming shit while you're talking about it. Like,
let's go. So
I have totally stopped streaming Instagram altogether because I get flagged every time immediately. Like they either they'll let me go for an hour and cut me, or they'll let me go for like 10, 20 minutes. So done with Instagram. Facebook gives me issues too. I like Facebook a lot, but Facebook will let me run 45 minutes, an hour, cutting. Twitch, we good to go the whole fucking time on Twitch. I also do scratchvision.com, DJ Scratch's site, no issues. Yeah. YouTube has put me in YouTube motherfucking jail. I got flagged too many times, so I'm in YouTube jail, but it's cool because I have my own URL. So you can go to liljonlive.com and watch me there. And DJs, if you want to do the same thing, all you have to do, the way we host it is I have a Vimeo account, and your Vimeo, if you have a URL, you can use your Vimeo as your player. So that's some streaming tips for you motherfuckers, because everybody, you need a backup plan, because if Twitch starts acting fucking funny like Facebook and Instagram, where the fuck you gonna do your shit at? So my backup plan is my own fucking shit. DJ Scratch's got his own shit too. So that's some shit that some information for y'all in case y'all want to start trying to fuck with that. Because I know that you talk to everybody about, you give them live streaming tips and all that shit too. So I got a lot of experience because I've been doing this since April. I've been streaming live. So I got a lot of knowledge in this fucking field.
We have to pick your brain on this, because this is something that these guys in here absolutely do. I'm really happy that you're talking about abandoning Instagram completely. I'm sure you stopped on Facebook too. Big shout out to everybody at the Hype Train. We got a level 2 Hype Train, 2%. Let's go. Let's run this train. Go ahead.
So Facebook, I don't want to totally abandon, because it's so many people that have Facebook. People have had their Facebooks 15 years, 20 years, 10 years. So like whenever the thing about Facebook is I might get like it might cut me, but when I go back up, I get more people when I go back up. So I don't want to abandon it. And what I started to do with Instagram, I created a clever trick. You guys can fucking use this. I made a video and I'm talking on the video and it looks like I'm live, but I'm not live. And I'm like, in the description, it says go to liljonlive.com. So basically, people that can't hear me, they're like, yo, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. But at the bottom, it says go to liljonlive.com. So they just go to liljonlive.com.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, I mean, Instagram is a great fucking tool, but yeah, they're not fucking with us DJs. So you still, like, it's so many people on Instagram and they're going to see that alert or see that you're live at the top or whatever. So you still got to be able to use that. So we have to always be smart in using every fucking tool we got to get people to come to check out our sets.
I love that, John. John, that's such great advice, man. Shout out to you, bro. That's huge. Level 3 hype train. Let's go. Let's go. Let's give a couple shout outs here because we got some raids that just came in. Big shout out to DJ Ted Morris, DJ Mark West. We see you, brother. Came in with 34 people. Shout out to DJ Decade. Man, these raids are coming in heavy. I really want to thank you guys for everybody for raiding here. Mark Easy. Sorry about that. Mark Easy. We see you, brother. We appreciate you. And let's see what else we got on here. All right. Listen.
I didn't put your schedule off. I just had to. You were talking about it, so I was like, we should talk about that too, Lord. Never. You know what I mean?
John, they're here for you, bro. They ain't here for me, man. Trust me. They like me, but they love you, man. So listen, anything you want to share, and listen, I really want to dive into that because I feel like that's something. Because here's the thing that I don't think people realize about John, and this is why I want to kind of shout some DJs out. They're like, and I've heard this, John. You know, I keep it real with you. So they're like, so John trying to DJ now. And I'm like, dude, this guy started as a DJ. Right. He was a dance hall DJ, and then he DJ'd all over Atlanta. He was that guy in Atlanta for right. DJing everything. So it's funny to me when I hear certain things, and then, it's hard because you've done so many things that I think people right. don't know. So I think hearing exactly what you're saying is just absolutely amazing. So I want to, in fact, we're going to make a whole section on streaming. Okay. But first right. I wanted them to kind of know you, and then we're going to go into streaming. Fair enough?
Yeah. So I honestly have been DJing longer than some of you motherfuckers have been alive. I started DJing in
let's get them.
1990, okay. 1990, 91. Mm-hmm. My homeboy Emperor Cersei used to do all of the house parties back in the day, or kickbacks, as you motherfuckers call them now. Yeah. And he used to DJ at my house too. And I used to have so many parties at my house, I just had a setup there so he could just come and just DJ. So one day I was just like, man, I want to learn how to do that because I was just amazed at how he could control the crowd. He can get them hyped. He can make them do this. He can make them do that. I was like, man, I want to learn how to DJ. So he kind of started showing me, little tips and shit. But then he went away to the Navy, right? Yeah. So while he was gone to the Navy, I just perfected my shit. And by the time he came back, I was at one of the biggest hip hop clubs in Atlanta called the Phoenix. This was like 92, 93. So I say about 2 years, it took me to learn how to DJ and to become like one of the best DJs in the city. And my foundation was a lot of guys that did like house and dance and shit. I was amazed at mixing. Like a lot of motherfucking DJs now don't mix. Niggas start mixing again. People like to hear a mix, a blend. If you come check out my sets on Saturday, I mix a lot. I blend a lot. Yeah. So like that's my foundation. And so, yeah, that's how I started to get popular in Atlanta by just doing all the house parties. And then I got into the biggest club at that time. And like I said, called the Phoenix. But that's a little history of me, my background. DJ.
Okay, so we got to go into one more thing. Big shout out to everybody. Level 3 hype train about to complete. Shout out to everybody. More Raiders. We got Dig 'em Smack, Little Fever. Thank you so much, guys. DJ Mark Easy, what's up? DJ Decade, thank you for the raids. Marcy Baby with the bits. All right, listen. So this is another funny, interesting one that people don't know. And New Yorkers are going to love this, especially people on the East Coast. Capleton Tour. You produced that record.
Yeah. So It's funny because when we did, you know, me and T-Pain did the versus battle, and I pulled that out. I saw hardcore hip hop motherfucking heads in the chat, like my man DJ Scratch, that did not know that I produced that. Me and my boy Paul Lewis produced that. So at the time, we had a dance hall radio show. That's another part of my history. I was also a dance hall selector. Okay. A selector is the DJ. The guy on the mic is the MC or whatever. So I was a dance hall selector with a sound in Atlanta called Four Seasons. And I got into reggae because I started on radio doing community radio, this station called WRFG. And I used to have a reggae show at like 3 in the morning to 6 in the morning. So it's where I learned my craft in radio and learned how to DJ on the radio and just perfected more mixing and so on and so forth. So I was a dance hall DJ doing my thing. And then me and Paul got together and became a part of, like I said, Four Season Sounds. And me and Paul ended up getting a radio show on the big station in Atlanta at the time, V103, still one major station in Atlanta. So we were doing Friday nights, dance hall Friday nights. So what we would do, what I brought to the table as part of, me and Paul like put the show together. But one thing that I really did was I would take hip hop acapellas or rap acapellas and put them over dance hall shit and dance hall acapellas and put them over hip hop shit. So in doing that, that started us into like wanting to like remix and shit and produce. So we ended up getting the label at the time was Signet Records. That's the label Cableton was on in America. So we got them to give us the acapella for tour. So we went in the studio. I didn't even know how to program yet, but me and Paul told the guy exactly what to do. Like, we want to use this. So me being a club DJ, I was like, okay, we need to get this part of DJ Cool because they go crazy when that hold up, wait a minute part comes on. Everybody's going to say it, and it sets up the drop, and we're going to use this, and boom, boom, boom. So we put the record together, and crazy, it turns out to be a #1 fucking record in New York, big around the fucking world also, and that gets Cableton signed to Def Jam. Crazy story about this. The label didn't clear the fucking samples. So you got Children's Story and Mona Lisa.
Got it.
On this fucking song. They just a little independent, label that's putting out reggae in the States. So they ain't thinking about clearing shit. Yeah. So the shit blows up, it's #1 on New York radio, Hot 97. Fucking Def Jam is in New York. They gonna hear that shit. So they, instead of suing them, they were like, we need to sign Cableton to Def Jam. So that's how Cableton, if y'all want to know, how did Cableton get on Def Jam? It was because the record blew up so big. Instead of suing them, they were like, we want to sign him to Def Jam. So that's a crazy story.
That's insane. Now, was that the first record that you guys actually produced?
No, we produced like some little local dance hall artists or singer artists before that. But that was like the second or third record we produced, and boom, it goes insane.
That's crazy.
And that's a crazy part of my career too. So like the first record I ever did as an artist was this song called Who You With, and that hit. Like, not many artists can say the first record they ever recorded as an artist became a hit. That was #1 in Atlanta and some other markets.
That's insane.
So that's crazy.
I mean, honestly, there's so much stuff. So now check this out. You get out of high school, right? You're DJing, right? So all this DJing stuff happens. You meet Jermaine Dupri, and you start doing promo and A&R for them. So let's talk about that part of your story.
Yeah, so I met Jermaine, like, when I wasn't DJing, I was just out all the time. I was every fucking where. I was all over the city. Yeah. That was just my thing. I just knew everybody, and I was just everywhere. So one day Jermaine comes to me. He's like, "Yo, I want to sign you to my." No. He said, "I want you to become. He said, "I'm starting my label. and I want you to do A&R and street promotions. And I was like, what the fuck is A&R? What the fuck is that? I don't know. I'm living in my mama's basement, getting drunk every day, DJing and shit, partying. So I have no idea what that is. And so I started working at So Def. I worked from 1993 to 2000. So yeah, I was DJing at the club. I left the club to start working at So Def. So yeah, damn, that was 91, 92. I was working at the Phoenix, and then 93. Yeah, damn, that's a long time ago. But anyway, that's how me and Jermaine, that's how I started working with Jermaine. And the interesting thing about that, like Jermaine had Silk Times Leather at that time, and JB had the Straight Jackets. Those were his first two groups he worked with. So I would like I would see JD out, and then I'll also like go check him out. They had a show or some shit because we were just cool. And so all of that helped him to be like, this guy's everywhere. He'll be great for street promotions. You know what I mean? So he hired me, and I ended up doing my thing.
And you were there for a long time. So this is crazy because you have so many crazy. Big shout out to everybody rating mods. I want you to get all their names. I'm going to make sure to shout them out. Everybody in the chat, don't think we forgot you. We got you. But we're trying to give this. We want to set up Lil Jon's story here because there's so much extensive stuff in here that if you miss, Mike Marquez, I see you, brother. We're going to make sure to, we want to give you these gems. All right. So now, crazy story, man, because I did so much research on you. I mean, every time it was like a Da Vinci Code, bro. I was like tying this to that, and I was like, so there's a story about you're at So Def, so you're kind of tied into this label now. You're signed too because you guys got all these records, right? Who you with was on So Def or no?
No. I actually, the cool thing about it was they, like Jermaine and his dad was like, no, you keep doing your own thing. Like you don't have to not stop doing your shit. Like we like that. I guess because I was in the streets and I had a name for myself. They didn't want me to, just be everything So Def. You can't produce, you can't be an artist. Nah, you can do whatever you want. So yeah. Go ahead with your question.
No, that's good. King and Queens Entertainment from Toronto. Big shout out to you with the raid. We appreciate you. From Toronto. Toronto's in the building today.
T-Dots.
So listen, once you this is a crazy story. So Too Short is gets you out of a board meeting and starts talking to you like, yo, I want you to start producing for me.
Well, we gotta talk about what I did at So Def, then we get to that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
A lot of people don't know So Def Bass All Stars, all three of those albums I put together. The song by Boo.
My Boo,
I
co-produced, right?
Arranged, kind of. I'm not credited, but pretty much. Me and Carl Mo like arranged the song. Like I was the one that boy you should know that was the verse. That was a part of the first verse, and I was like, that sounds like a cool intro. So I was like, let's put that here and then put the chorus in, and then go to the verse. So like I helped arrange it. I put Carl Mo, who is the writer and like the keyboard player and producer, with Ghost Town DJs, was this guy named Rodney Terry. So I put them together. I was in every session. So yeah, all of the So Def Bass All-Star albums I put together. I was executive producer on. So that was my main claim to fame at So Def. Also, I found China White while I was at So Def. She sent in a demo tape, and I heard her demo tape, and I was like, she's dope. And I think I played it for Jermaine. He was like, he passed, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna work with her. So that's how China White got down with me. And I think that's also how Bo Hagen got down with me. So Def Bass All Stars, the main thing I brought to So Def, very, very successful platinum album and gold singles. I'm pretty sure the first one went platinum. I can't remember. I know we got golds and gold singles and all of that.
If you're a DJ who live streams, a music producer, an artist, or just a music fan, make sure you check us out. We have 3 music industry related live interview video shows that are the best around. Tuesday, Tweak Music Tips Live with some of the best in the world in music production, artists, and music industry leaders. Our Tuesday Tweak Music Tips live show is 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Wednesday, we have DJs Learn How to Live Stream. where we invite industry-leading live streamers for their secrets and tips. Our Wednesday, DJs Learn How to Live Stream, is at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific. On Friday, we have our DJ and Music Industry State of the Union, where we interview some of the best in the world, from DJs to artists to music industry professionals, where we talk all things music industry business, from where the music industry is now, from nightclub owners, traveling and touring nightclub DJs, to popular artists and producers. It's one of the best ways to get a pulse on where the music industry is now. And our Friday, DJ Music Industry State of the Union, is at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific. On all of our shows, we're on live for live Q&A from our viewers. To watch live, make sure you follow us on our Facebook page, Tweak Music Tips. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram. DJs, what's up? We did not forget about you. If you're looking to step up your game and you want to learn intros, outros, clean edits, mashups, maybe even you want to do mixes with vocal drops, we got you covered. We got a DJ mentorship program. If you're looking to elevate your game and you want a painless process, make sure you hit us up at tweakmusictips.com/training. If you want to save hours of learning, please make sure you hit us up, and we're looking forward to hearing from you.
So, fast forward, I'm in a board meeting. Too Short, I have a song out, Who You With, the song I was talking about a little while ago. Who You With is destroying the clubs in Atlanta. It's the #1 song in the streets. The song of Freaknik. So Short really liked that song. So my homeboy G, if you listen to old Too Short records when he was in the ATL in the 90s, he say G hooked it up. So G and Short come to the office and they come and get me out of a meeting. And Short is like, yo, you know, I wanna sign you. I wanna fuck with you on some shit. So at the time, when I did the song Who You With, I just went to somebody I knew with a label and ended up signing one of them Dr. Dre contracts from where Eazy-E had him in, like lifetime, everything, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But Short, this is why I love him to this day and forever, gets me out of that fucked up contract, signs me to his label, gives me a studio to use, blah, 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 everything. And then fast forward, I'm going to come back, but fast forward a couple of years later, he lets me out the contract, no strings attached.
Crazy.
So for him, I feel forever in gratitude to, and like it was great for me to like give him, fast forward a little bit further, Blow the Whistle.
Oh man,
I mean,
we got to go into that.
So Blow the Whistle, I did while we were working on E40's album.
Yep.
It's so like you saying, we connecting all the fucking dots.
Dots, man.
But anyway, it started from Too Short getting me out of a board meeting, finding out I'm on the label. He liked me as an artist, getting me out of that contract, signing me to his label, and then we get to work at Dangerous Music.
That's crazy. All right, so Def, you did a lot of stuff. I mean, think about it. The My Boo record is like, that's it. Who was the singer on that? I don't think that's ever.
Her name was Virgo, but she wasn't, like, the group was Ghost Town DJ.
Got it.
Crazy story about that.
Let's go.
So we're in the studio. Virgo was just the background singer. The girl we wanted to sing the leads was terrible, trash. Yeah. Couldn't nail it. So I'm like, fuck, you know, we can't use her. Let's use the girl sing the backgrounds. And that's how Virgo ended up being the main singer, but she wasn't even supposed to be the lead. So it's crazy how stuff works out. But she was much better, and that song is, of course, still in rotation. Still a classic. So
they're doing a new Running Man every a couple of decades, right?
Yes, sir.
They're doing it. All right, so. Because listen, this is 24 years, guys. I want you to know that this is 24 years in. This guy's got, like, think about it. He's saying 96, and 96. That's actually when your record started coming out. So, but you started producing early 90s.
Yeah,
I mean, DJing.
Cableton tour might have been 94, 95. I can't remember, but 96 was when Who You With came out.
Got it.
And I think 96, 97 might have been Bass All Stars. I don't know. I mean, you know, all this tequila drinking over the years. I have to really go look it up. But yeah, it's a lot of years of working. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So Def, then Too Short's Dangerous Music. Then you did your BME, right? Which was
this is another story. So cool story about me and Too Short. So when we get over there, I think one of the first songs that I do, the first song that me and him do together, I actually did for another artist to get on. So Couldn't Be a Better Player.
Got it.
Classic record. So I recorded, me and the Eastside boys go record the whole song and we leave the spaces open. Yeah, I think this was when we first got over there with Short. So I'm like, Young Bleed at the time had How You Do That there? Crazy, hot. So I'm like, I want Young Bleed to be on this. So I left the song at the studio. I was like, yo, Short, check out the song. And, you know, I want to get Young Bleed on. He's like, cool. So he checks the song out and he's like, man, this shit hot. And he just cuts the record. So that's the first time we get together. And it's actually a song. It wasn't even intended for him, but he got on it. And that turned into another classic in the streets of Atlanta. And even, I think in the Bay, they was playing it in the Bay too. So, yeah, man, it's crazy.
So, a lot of stories. So many stories. I mean, so eventually, all right. So BME, you put out how many records on? Because that was basically your own like imprint label. Well,
yeah.
First,
so after I get out of the deal with Short, you know, I told y'all he let me out of the deal. Oh, my phone's going out. Turn it. Yeah. So get out of the deal with Short, and yeah, we kind of just started doing our own thing, BME, and we put out. What did we put out? We put out an independent Lil Jon Eastside Boys album. I don't remember which album it was, but Bia was on that album.
Wow.
Like Them Girls was on that album, and something else was on that album. And then we ended up after that, and because of Bia getting signed to TBT. Crazy story about Bia.
Let's go.
So Bia, the original version was it was called Just a Bitch.
Okay.
So we had to make a regular version, and I don't know why, but I was just like Bia, and it basically turned into a new song. But the original version had Too Short, Lil Jon Eastside Boys, and my girl Ubi. She was singing on it. And then, yeah, we had to make a radio version, and it just turned out to be that. And it's just crazy how stuff happens. You don't plan it that way, but it works out for the better. So that was one that happened for the better. So, yeah, that album, most of the songs on that album ended up getting put on our first album on TBT. I do not remember the name of too many years ago. I think it was Put Your Hood Up might have been the first album on TBT. I'm not sure. Yes.
Now, who you with? What was that release time? Because that was your first single.
Yeah, that song was on Mirror Image Records, and it's crazy because I just wanted to do a single. We just wanted to do a single, some shit to get Atlanta clubs crunk, and it got so hot that we had to do an album. So
wow, that's insane. That's really, really good. Wow. Okay. So, all right. So we're at BME. Now BME gets some kind of deal. It could have been an imprint, joint ventureship, etc. Right? We were talking about that already with TVT.
Yeah.
So now that's a lot of crazy stories because think about all the people that come through that, right? So I think so you obviously brought the Ying Yang Twins. It was you. It was Pitt, right?
I didn't bring Ying Yang, but Ying Yang probably got noticed because of working with me. And like I think, yeah, Get Low. I don't know. Get Low was their album. I don't remember when their first album was, but it was definitely because of me. Somewhat, not because like I brought them there or anything, but of the relationship. And cause yeah, I think I remember Smurf calling me, asking me how TBT was, and I was like, yeah, they cool. So yeah, Ying Yang, Pitbull, of course, got signed after that. And people ask me sometimes why you didn't sign Pitbull. And at the time I was like, I don't want, he was such a good friend to me and still such a good friend to me. I was like, I don't want the business to fuck up our relationship.
So good.
So I was like, you know what? He can do his thing. And then, you know, because we down with each other, I get on the albums or whatever, regardless. And that's why Pitbull was never signed to Lil Jon, or I never had a part of that, because I just didn't want to. Sometimes the business fucks up the relationships. And like that's my dog. That was my dog. When I touched down in Miami, he right there by my side, no matter where I'm at. You know what I mean? We were always together all the time, inseparable from like the first time we met. Like that was my guy. So yeah, I didn't want the business to fuck up the relationship.
Now, did you mentor him somewhat?
I mean, I guess we always together and, you know, just shooting the shit and just talking randomly. Pitt is a guy that listens and watch. He digests the information and processes all that information. Like some people, you think some people ain't paying attention to nothing that's going on, but he's watching everything. And, you know, I guess I probably definitely told him some things, but I think it's both. Like I probably told him some shit and him just being very observant and taking all that knowledge in.
That's good. I mean, honestly, did you know now, honestly though, did you know he was going to be as big as he was, or did you ever feel like he had that fire?
When the first time I heard him, he had a song called Oye. I don't know if y'all remember that song. If you're from Miami, you probably do. But this shit was banging on Power 96. And I heard it on the radio when I was in Miami. I was like, man, that shit kind of jamming. I don't know what the fuck he's saying, but that shit jamming. And I always knew he was dope, but I guess we didn't never really think about it. You know what I mean? Like, and then once Kulo blew, it was like, holy shit. Like, we on to something. And then the anthem. And then all this other shit. Like, it's like, you know, I remember Pitt telling me, he was like, I'm going to be doing stadiums one day. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's keep working. And lo and behold, this motherfucker is doing stadiums and shit around the world, and one of the biggest Latino artists of our time. Like, it's crazy. But I saw that hunger in his eyes from the beginning. He was always hungry, and he didn't let any opportunity pass him by. So that's one thing. If anybody take from what I just said about him, please don't let the opportunities pass you by. You jump on those fucking opportunities, seize the fucking moments, and that will help propel you forward. That's the one thing I try to teach my son right now. My son just graduated from NYU, from Tisch, the Clive Davis program, and we've been doing a lot of producing together. And I've tried to I've been pushing to him, like, we can't like slack if Sweetie call and want to beat. We got to get in the studio and bang that shit out, because she hot right now, and that's an opportunity. People are paying attention to you. So I'm teaching him, like, you jump right on it and turn it around quick, and people are gonna be like, whoa, let me shoot some more shit their way, or damn, I might need to pay a little bit more attention to this or that. You know what I mean? So seize the moments, y'all. Opportunities don't come every goddamn day.
That's what I'm talking about. See, this is what I'm saying, guys. You got to pick this up, man. Seriously, listen. I kind of want to pivot a little bit, right? Because we're going really fast with this, right? But this is funny because you're on the topic. So let's bring this up. Right now is a time where there's a lot of people that are being challenged with a lot of different things, right? People are talking. I like that. It's not the pimp cup, but it's the water cup. I like that.
The water jug. Water is important, ladies and gentlemen. I don't mean to cut you off, but water. A gallon a day keeps the doctor away. No, a gallon a day keeps that COVID away.
Keep that going. That's awesome. Give us the ones in the chat, people. Thank you so much. Leap DJs with the 60 subs. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. All the guys rating, we're gonna shout everybody out. Thank you so much, Decade, Mark Easy, all those guys. We got you, bro. Little Fever, everybody. We're gonna shout you out in 1 second. Big shout out to Club Killers. All right. Right now, it's a time where a lot of people are being challenged. So a lot of people give themselves a title, right? Like if Lil Jon has said, yo, I'm a rapper, or I'm just a DJ, or I'm just a, this or that, right? You're so multifaceted. What would you tell someone right now in these challenging times? What would you tell them is like the secret sauce to somebody who can pivot in any situation?
Well, with me, I never really wanted to be put in a box. I never been like, I just do this. I feel like I can do anything. If I want to do it, I can do it. Just like streaming. I never thought I'd be fucking streaming. I'm on the road fucking 200 shows a year DJing. I'm like, I ain't never gonna do that shit. But I was home. I'm seeing D-Nice. I'm seeing all these other great DJs DJing. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see if I want to do this. You know, I sat back and I saw exactly what I wanted to do and my angle of how I wanted to come at it. And I learned this. I dived head first and learned every aspect of this streaming shit. Shout out to DJ Spider, who kind of got me going. Shout out to my boy Urban D out there, who like works the show every week, and me and him like learning this shit together. But I gotta give a shout out to Spider on a couple of points, because we ain't got there yet in the conversation, but I eventually, at one point in the late 2000s, I stopped producing because I was fried, I was burnt out. I just was like, nothing's coming out. So Reggie Bush invited me to the first game at the Superdome after Katrina. So I went to the game, great game, boom, boom, boom. He has an after party. So somebody's DJing the after party, and I'm like, man, this guy's pretty dope. It was just giving me, like, inspiring me, right? And so I'm like, okay, cool. So I had somebody go get the kid's number, boom, boom, boom. The next day I'm leaving, and this white kid comes up to me in the airport like, yo, what up? And I'm like, what's up? He's like, hey, it's me, the DJ from last night. And I'm like, you the DJ? He's like, yeah, what's up? I'm fine. So after that, me and Spider clicked up, and Spider got me back going DJing again. So if it wasn't for Spider, I don't know if I would have been inspired to do it. So Spider got me inspired, and Spider like helped me to get my crates together, and you know, Serato and all this shit. You know what I mean? He helped me to get going. And then with the streaming shit, I saw Spider stream too. And he had some cool ideas, and I was like, yo, how you doing that? And then him and Urban D, we had some conversations, and they got me going into that too. So yeah, you gotta sometimes just dive head first, ladies and gentlemen, and you just gotta learn it. And you don't, like, I wouldn't come up for air till I got it. If I couldn't figure something out, I wouldn't stop until I figured that shit out. You know what I mean? Or like I would sleep and I'd be dreaming about the shit, and I wake up and I figured it out and I go get it done. You know what I mean? Like that. That's how y'all gotta be too.
That's dope. That's so good. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate it. So listen, here's what we're gonna do. Let's give a couple of shout outs here, because we got DJ Unico NYC with the raid, DJ Sideshow, Maule, Mule. I don't want to mess up your name. Sorry about that. Little Fever, DJ Mark Easy, Ted Morris, Kings of Queens, and DJ Decade. Thank you so much, everybody with the subs. We see you, homeboy. What's the name here? What was the name of the person with the subs? Put it in the chat here, guys. We want to do that real quick. Shout out to you guys. 1 second. I don't want to stop this thing because of this.
Y'all need to, if you need this new Ying Yang Twins that I just produced, really cool, because I did it with my son. He just graduated from NYU, and then we're home for the pandemic. We get inspired, we go in the studio, boom, we come out with this brand new Ying Yang song. Twerking in the Mirror. If you've been watching my stream, the other DJ stream, shout out to all the DJs that's been playing it. We ain't even put it on Spotify or anything yet. It's just the DJs right now. All about you. If you need it, y'all need to hit me up on my email.
Okay.
LilJonDrops@gmail.com. LilJonDrops@gmail.com. If you need it, hit me. I'll send it to you. I'm sending it to you directly. I've always been a hands-on DJ kind of guy. I send this shit out myself.
That's what I'm talking about.
I like y'all quick. That's how quick y'all like. Bam!
Bam! Let's get them.
Yeah.
We got you. Okay. All right. Listen, so going into the drops, if I had $1 for everybody that asked me if you still do drops, can you please answer them? And do they hit you on this email?
It's just too many requests, man. Yeah. True story.
Talk to me. When
I was at Republic Records, because after TBT, I ended up signing to Universal Republic. They weren't really feeling what I was trying to. We were on different pages with my direction. So one thing I figured out, I was like, if I do personalized drops for DJs, they're going to play the record. And I was like, if I do, hold up, stop the music. I thought it was motherfucking New York. Hold up, boom, boom, boom. What? Let's fucking lose it. Get out. I was like, every DJ going to play that. So that's how I broke Out of Your Mind, by doing those CD versions and by doing a lot of drops. I think I might have did like 400 drops for DJs, and the DJs showed me the love back. So it's a lot of requests. I eventually might get back to doing them drops, y'all, but it's just too many goddamn requests. I'm sorry. Shit. But that's a true story how I broke the record. And DJs, to me, the DJ still doesn't get the respect that they deserve, because if the DJ ain't playing your shit, nobody's going to want to hear your shit. They got to play it for people to notice it. You know what I mean? They can't just, you're not going to pick up everything by just going on New Music fucking Friday on fucking Spotify. You got to hear the DJ playing in the club. You got to see people partying to it in the club, whatever. So I used to be, I bet there's DJs on here that I personally given them vinyl. I bet there's DJs on here I personally sent them a drop. I bet there's DJs on here that I personally fucking sent the Ying Yang record to, the Twerking in the Mirror to. So I've always been that kind of guy. Of course, shit got big, but we got to bring it back small, and we got to get back down to just grinding that shit out. So I'm a grind out kind of guy.
I love that. Let's go. Big shout out to let's get the name here. Lucra 16. Let me see 1 second. I just want to make sure I give you the Lucraft Tiff 1 for the raid. Thank you so much. All right. Let's go through a couple more things. So now TVT. Now TVT was not the best situation in the end. I don't want to go too much into the bad, but they did a bunch of things. I mean, what's crazy is I found out that Yo Gotti was there. I know that 9 Inch Nails was there, and they left before you were there. But
Trent Reznor was really on. I think he sued TVT.
He did, right?
Yeah, I think he sued.
And then you guys kind of gave them the whole resurgence, really.
Yeah, after 9 Inch Nails, I think it was me, Ying Yang, and the East Siders was over there at the same time. Snoop had the East Siders over there. So all of those things, and then from all of my albums, like the first one went gold, and then double platinum with Crunk Juice, and I think platinum single top 3 with Snap Your Fingers. So it was a lot. And then, I mean, some of Pitbull's early big shit was over there too. So yeah. And then we all got fed up and was not happy with what was going on and spoke out, and he ended up bankrupting the label, and we all got off and went in to do other things.
So it was a gift and a curse, right? The gift was obviously eventually them closing, because then they had to release you from the label, correct? Yeah,
but it's always, the way I look at life is always positivity in negative situations. I learned so much by being an independent artist, being over there. And TBT, like, even though the guy, the label head, Steve Gottlieb, was, difficult at times, when we wanted to do something, we could 9 out of 10 times do it. Shout out to my man Brian Leach. He had Polo Brown's music. So he left TBT and started his own label. But Brian Leach was the A&R for me, Gotti, Ying Yang, Pitt. Pitt actually ended up signing to his label through RCA as well. But yeah, Brian could go convince Steve to do it. We Majors had a schedule, of how they gotta do it, and it's gotta be 4 months or 6 months. But independent label, you do what the fuck you want to do when you do it, when you want to do it. You know, so I learned all of that shit, and I learned how to do that, and I took that knowledge too when we started doing, you know, our BME thing with Warner Brothers, and we had E40, Trill, Scrappy, all of that.
Whew. I mean, that's a whole nother. I mean, we could get all right. Let's do some of these records because I want to go through some of these because I know we're going through the label stuff, and a lot of people have so many questions on this. All right, so some of the people you worked on, and these are some crazy ass stories. So, you worked with, like, let's go through Usher, Ciara, E40, Ice Cube, will.i.am. You laced the Ultra stage with Aoki, Afrojack, Sidney Samson. You work with like Miley Cyrus, J-Lo, Travis Barker, Britney Spears. Listen, Mobb Deep and Nas. Like, being from New York, my guy, like, this. I hear Mobb Deep and Nas, and I hear Lil Jon. I'm like, this is insane. Like, how was it working with those two?
Man, I gotta shout out Nas because Nas at that time was like the first New York hip hop artist to like co-sign. So we did the Bravehearts, Quick to Back Down. Nas, the Bravehearts, Quick to Back Down. And I did that beat in the studio with them too. So that was pretty dope. It wasn't like I just sent some beats out. So that was dope to just be in the studio with Nas and to kick it. And then, you know, that wasn't enough. Fucking Mobb Deep. You know what I mean? Like, Mobb Deep is hip hop too. Nas is hip hop. Mobb Deep is hip hop. And for both of those camps to co-sign me and stamp me, do a record with me, and we shot videos for the records. It was just great, man. It was just like, it just showed like when someone like me, the way I am, I don't like think about all of that shit. I'm just like working. But then you get to do stuff like that, it's like, wow, I really accomplished something. I made it to New York because that's, you know, back in the day it was like when you get to New York, you made it. Because you gotta make it in New York to be at the top of hip hop or rap or whatever the fuck. You have to be cracking in New York. So to be working with legendary New York artists, it was definitely a high point for me in my career.
That's insane. Did you ever do anything with Jay? I know he did a feature, right, on something.
With who?
Jay-Z.
I did a record with Jay. It never came out. So me and Rick Rubin were cool, and like Rick did a record with me on Crunk Juice called "Stop Fucking With Me," and which was dope because we used Slayer samples. I used to love Slayer when I was like in high school. I used to listen to Slayer. So to be able to I remember him coming to the studio with Slayer decks. Like, all right, just pick out which samples you want to use. I was like, what? We can just use fucking Slayer like that? Get the fuck out of here. So we chopped the records up, and just to be produced by Rick Rubin, everybody cannot say they were produced by Rick Rubin. So to be in the studio with Rick, to see him on the drum machine making shit, Slayer samples, and I actually met one of the Slayer guys and his wife at a Christmas party somewhere, and they were like, you did our song justice. And Slayer don't fuck with nobody. Slayer don't let nobody use their shit either. So that was great. But what the fuck was I talking about? I lost my train of thought. Anyway.
We're talking about Jay-Z, and you were talking about the record that didn't come out.
Yes. So I was working with Rick Rubin. Yes. So Rick called me. He was like, yo, I'm doing this Jay-Z Greatest Hits album. And I got this record I want you to get on. It's Jay-Z. He did the beat. And he was like, it's Chris Rock on it too. So I went and just laid some ad-libs and shit on it. It's in the vault somewhere. But yeah, it's a Rick Rubin produced Jay-Z song with Lil Jon and Chris Rock.
And Slayer samples.
Not on that one. Not on that.
Oh, not on that. Okay. You got me excited.
Slayer was on my song on Crunk Juice.
What people don't realize is Lil Jon used to work at a skate shop, and he was a skater.
Yes.
So he was into he loved all that. Bad Brains, Slayer. He was into all kinds of stuff. So that's why this is funny, because I feel like people don't realize that's why you have like a very eclectic taste, and it comes out in your music because it's very aggressive. It's got, you know what I'm saying, it's got a little bit of everything, and you seem to like make a gumbo of everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think skateboarding, being a skater, helped me to be around all different types of people and made it where no matter, you can drop me out of an airplane, no matter where I land, I can relate to people and be able to have a conversation with people. Some people, they can't get out of their world and just be able to have a conversation. So skateboarding made it where, you know, I was skating with kids of all ethnicities and different kinds of backgrounds. And I think without skateboarding, I don't know if I would be who I am today. So, you know, skateboarding definitely taught me how to be able to be around all types of people and anybody.
That's great. That's great. Okay. So we have so many great stories. Guys, I see you going nuts in the chat. Give me the ones. I'm going to give a little shout out to my people in the West Coast. Shout out to everybody in the Bay. We got a lot of family from the Bay here. So I want to go over some stories because these are great stories. So I want to make sure that we put these all together. All right. It's everybody's giving me the ones. People in Miami too. I love this. Okay, let's go over it. So we went over it. We like glanced over the E40 stuff and the Too Short stuff. So the E40 Too Short stuff is kind of cool because the Too Short thing, well, you were working with E40 and then the Blow Your Whistle. So something like, tell me where you.
So what happened was,
let's go with that.
40 was off the label that he was on. We did a record called Rep Your City. I don't remember who the fucking song's album was on, but we did Rep Your City. And then I think after that, 40 was like, yo, you know, looking, you know, what you think about me fucking with being me? I was like, fuck yeah, like, let's fucking do it.
Yeah.
So we signed 40 to being me. We started working on My Ghetto Report Card. And I'm sure y'all heard the story about fucking how we did. All right, I'll just tell you a little bit. So we in the studio this week. We working on E40 did a funny interview and he was telling how I'm like how calculated I am. So he was like, I remember him saying in this story, he was like, yeah, so John is like, today we're gonna do up tempo slaps. So we just up tempos at this point, this week or this couple of days. So we do muscle cars. We do the beat for muscle cars. And Short is there. And Short is actually the one going boom, 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 boom. We didn't even credit Short because it was just like whatever. But you know, he didn't even want no credit. It was just like he just did a little vocal part. But that's Too Short if you listen to Muscle Cars going boom, 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 boom. So we knock out Muscle Cars, and I think the same day I say, Short, I got something for you. Because I think a couple of days before that, I had been working and I found that bass sound from Blow the Whistle. And I was like, damn, this shit sounds like Freaky Tale's bass line. I was like, I'm going to make a beat to this. And I guess because we were doing up tempos that week, that's why the song is up tempo. Because, you know, Freaky Tale is slower. So I made a song with, I had it in a stash. So we do Muscle Cars. And wait, I'm missing some shit.
So tell them where you go. Where to tell them where you go? Remember, it was a whole day.
No, because we got to get to why Keep the Sneakers there.
Oh, so, yeah. You thought he was Mexican. You said he sounded Mexican.
So yeah, I got to backtrack a little bit, but yes, Short was there, and I gave him Blow the Whistle the same week that we do Tell Me When to Go. Yeah. So I guess it's earlier in the day before we do Muscle Cars. And we're talking about Bay Area artists. Yeah. And I might have been listening to some and I just was like, yo, who's that dude? Who's that Mexican dude? And he's like, huh? I was like, on that one song, blah, blah, blah. He's like, Keep the Sneak, he ain't Mexican. I was like, oh, he sounds Mexican. So I was like, let's get him on some shit. So he was like, let me hit him up. And he calls Dane Fame, his manager. And he's like, yo, where y'all at? He's like, we in Atlanta. We about to head to the airport and head back to the Bay. And so 40 is like, nah, come by the studio. So they come by the studio. And then the first thing we do with them is Muscle Cars. Yeah. And like I said, Short was there, boom, boom, boom. So Short leaves. We working on different shit all night, trying to come up with some shit. So Muscle Cars is finished. Working on some other ideas, whatever. So it's 4 or 5 in the morning. I'm packing up my book bag, getting ready to leave. Yeah. And one of Keith's homeboys comes in the studio, like they've been smoking and drinking all motherfucking day. So he comes in the studio. He's like, tell me when they go. 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 I'm like, what the fuck is that? I was like, I'm about to make a beat to that right now. So I just made the beat in 10 minutes, and 40 goes in. He takes that little "Tell Me When to Go" part, make a hook out of that, records the shit, and then so while 40 is in the booth, I'm talking to Keek and his homeboys. I'm like, anybody use that Run DMC "Dumb Girls"? Y'all niggas say dumb all the time. Ain't nobody used that on the song yet? They were like, nope. I was like, okay, watch this. So while 40 is recording, I go on the internet, sample "Dumb Girls." He comes out, so we play the fucking "Tell Me When to Go" with 40's hook on it. So tell me when they go, tell me when they go, tell me when they go, tell me when they go. And then I just go, dumb, 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 dumb. Them niggas like the tour the studio. Motherfuckers is hyphy and all over the goddamn place. Hyphy is the motherfucker. Hey. So we fucking cut the whole song and then go to breakfast at 9 a.m. and talk about what's about to happen. We knew that song was going to come out and go fucking ape shit in the world.
That's an insane song. That's a crazy. Now, I want to talk about the Blow the Whistle. Big shout out to the Club Killers. I see you, DeVille, Alex Streams. I see you guys. You actually thought Blow the Whistle was a sleeper only because you did it. You thought it was dope, but it wasn't as amped as the other one.
So, yeah, here's the story, y'all.
Yeah.
So, when we did, you have to understand, Tell Me When to Go is high energy. It's got the chants on it. Yeah. Ghost Ride the Whip. Ghost Ride. It's all about the dancing and shit, right? Yeah. So when I heard Too Short, when we got the final version of Blow the Whistle, I'm like, I don't know, man. It's cool. But, you know, I'm on the Tell Me When to Go energy.
Yeah.
It's different. So I was like, I don't know, you know, yeah, whatever. And then fast forward to now, Blow the Whistle is the biggest one. You know what I mean? Out of both of those two songs, Blow the Whistle is still going, and the resurgence of it from Sweetie doing it with Tap In, it's crazy. Like it's crazy. You never know. And it's funny because a couple years ago, Short was like, yeah, that is my biggest song. And
no way.
His biggest song now, if you look at Sweetie and the publishing and all of that.
That's crazy. We're gonna go into publishing too.
Shit, huh? Drake used it too. Drake and Sweetie.
They used it too. Wow. That's crazy. Bro, your stories I don't even know. I could spend a whole day with you. It could be like a 5-hour thing. We're not gonna do that, but I'm just saying, like bro, and we have to jump around because this is the only way we can pay homage to the whole story. If not, we'll be in one area. All right. Let's talk about. I noticed we're talking about some weird songs and how they were different things. Let's talk about Goodies. The original song title was My Cookies. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So Ciara and Sean Garrett, they go cut the song and they come back with Cookies. Me and rest in peace, my boy Shakir, were like, what? No. So Shakir's like, y'all gotta go back in the studio, and I'm like, yeah, man, y'all gotta do some more shit to that. So they go in. I didn't go in with them, but I need to ask Sean Garrett, like, how long were they in there thinking of how to change it, or if they just went in and just changed it. But all I know is they come back, they change Cookies to Goodies, and that's why if you listen to the song, she says, if you're looking for my goodies, they're in the jar, because it was fucking cookie and cookie jar. You get it? It's crazy that one word changed the song from trash to fucking cash.
That's crazy. But that, I mean, as huge as that song was, right? And you made them change the one word. That's awesome.
One word. Well, they changed the one word, and we were like, that's it. Like, right. I think I even thought they changed more than that. They were like, no, we just changed Cookies to Goodies.
the one word.
But it's so different.
Acceptable. All right, let's talk about Yeah. And then the funniest thing with Yeah, freakily got the same drums. You was like,
yeah, I think back on that today, like, I got to be the only producer that sold the same beat 2 times and had a #1 with both. So my mindset at the time was, You already know the story. The original version of Yeah was over the Freak Leak beat. So y'all already know that. So my mindset was when L.A. Reid is like, go in the studio and fucking change that shit. No, we got to do something. So we go in the studio. I think Ciara in L.A. So we go in the studio and I'm like, you know what? No, first of all, I try to get Petey to like, let me give him another beat. And so the label and PD is like, nah, we like this. This shit is a hit. We ain't changing that. No, fuck that. We ain't taking no new beat. So I got to go in the studio and create some new shit. So I figured, like, this is fucking Usher. Like, this is Usher. I'm like, that, you know, that PD pop, that freakily shit ain't gonna be that big.
Yeah.
So I was like, just take all the music off and let's just play some new music over. So that's why it's the same drums, because I didn't think that the PD Pablo was a hit. I just thought it was all right, and I thought it was gonna come and go. And then the Usher record was gonna be like, just blow it out of the water and people not even pay attention to the Freakily. But thank God I was wrong, because both of them were monsters. But that's why it's the same drums, because I just took the music off and just played new music. Like, it's only the music, only keyboards is the only thing that's different. I think even the fucking hi-hats and crashes, all that shit is exactly the same.
Wow. That's crazy. All right. I'll get crucified if I don't bring this record up. Turned down for what? 900 million plus streams. It's about to hit the B's, right? In the billions.
Yeah, 900. It's probably 990. Let's look that up.
Let's look that up.
I need my YouTube motherfucking billion thing.
Right?
Let's see what is that. It was at 989 the last time I looked. Right now, it is at, what does it say? 994.
Ooh, guys.
I'm gonna get a billion before 2021.
That's a good year. 2020 is a good year for Lil Jon. Guys, I need y'all to help him get to let's help him get to the billion. We gotta play it over and over.
Yeah. It was literally 989 like a month ago.
So you probably went diamond with the record too, right? The for sales.
I think it was like 2-3 million. I don't know. It might be more now. I don't know.
Yeah, I read somewhere it was 8 million. Just so you know.
Shit, really?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was 8 million. So, and you get 50-50. That's a 50% split on that one, which is great. That's what I'm talking about. Now, let's talk about how that originally had a Redman sample, and Snake wanted you to re-sing it, and how it took you months to do it, etc.
He sent me the record while I was on the road, and I was like, I don't record when I'm on the road because I gotta fucking sleep and hungover and airplanes and shit. Yeah, so I was like, all right, I'll get to it when I get back to the house. So like 4 or 5 months later, I pull up the song, and it's like, it's the countdown, bang the underground. I'm like, so I'm like, just send me the instrumental. He's like, no, I want you to fucking do, this Redman thing. I was like, yeah, all right. Send me the instrumental though, just trust me. So as soon as I put the fucking headphones on, beat starts. As soon as I hear that drop, I just say, turn down for what? That's the first thing that fucking comes in my fucking head. And what's crazy is that came like that, but the other parts that nobody knows what the fuck I'm saying, that took like 2-3 hours. So what I wanted to do was I was like, let me make this part a little ghetto since the beat is a little EDM. So let me make what I'm saying a little bit like kind of hood. So what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, is fire up that loud, another round of shots. Turn down for what? So loud is, of course, strong as weed. So that's crazy. And it's also crazy that the song that I have the least amount of lyrics on made the most fucking money. You know what
12 words to be exact.
12 fucking words made me millions. Crazy.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So it's fun. That's a good, interesting transition. So you started doing records like the Pitbull Anthem, Shots, right? You were on Chucky's remix of Sexy Bitch. Is that what kind of led you into the EDM realm?
I think it was doing Pitbull stuff, and then LMFAO, and then me and Aoki kind of linked up, and we did Turbulence, and it was like the rest is history. After Turbulence, that's when people were like, okay, they kind of accepted me into that world because they were, initially like, but Turbulence was like #1 record too, and so big. And then I just started working with everybody. I actually just got done doing a brand new joint with Dimitri Vegas and Like Mike. It's crazy. It's a crazy joint. I just recorded that last week. And it looks like me and Azar, we had this record that we did years ago. It was just like we only like played it a little bit while we were out. And a couple of people that were down with us had it, but it was never out. So we just updated that. We're about to release that one too. It's called Too Lit. So yeah, I mean the EDM stuff for me was easy, man, because I'm the hypest motherfucker on the planet. I feel like I can get on any record and hype it up. So it was like, and I love the music. So it's like, I know how to hype up drops. Not question. Okay. Story. The most, I'm going to ask y'all a question. Let's see who in the chat, if y'all with me on this. The most used phrase in EDM music is what?
If you guys get it right, I'm gonna send you a T-shirt, guys. So I'm gonna give you 2 people in a T-shirt.
Used phrase from DJs when they're hyping the club up or whatever the fuck. What is the most used fucking phrase? Let's see
what we got. So let's see. I think DJ Riddler says.
DJ Scooter said, "Put your fucking hands up."
Yep.
Now, if you don't know, I started that. I came up with that, and you can go look this up. DJ Clash had a record called I'm the Shit. So he wanted me to get on the remix. So when I'm on doing the vocals for the remix, he had the drop. And so I was like, what could I do to make people like go crazy for this drop? So I was like, put your fucking hands up. Boom, boom, boom. Then the beat drops, of course.
Yeah.
So somehow the acapella started to float around, and people would take that and use that on EDM records. And myself, whenever I got on big stages, I would say, put your fucking hands up. And it just became a staple for EDM DJs. And then other EDM DJs started to say it. But I am the fucking originator.
Tell him, Lil Jon, tell him. Listen, if your voice was the most sampled ever, I think, you know what I'm saying, with the drops and all that stuff. And think about it, between you and Fatman Scoop, and I don't want to bring any competition, but I'm just saying, you guys were really the only two that did like the New Year's anthem, like the New Year countdown. It was either Lil Jon or Fatman Scoop, but that's it.
Yeah, I think that all started with my homeboy DJ Control. Shout out DJ Control. Fuck with his he got his own little new website. It's what Apex Crates for DJs, dope edits. But yeah, I think we just was like we just would put out fucking like New Year's Eve countdowns, Halloween shit.
Yeah.
And that's how we started. Big shout out to Scoop too, because Scoop inspired me to like I wanted to become a voice of the club like Scoop was. Because Scoop was like his samples of his voice, and what's the fucking what the fucking record is that? I can't think right now.
Be Faithful.
Yeah, Be Faithful is like, Be
That's
Faithful, DMX Party Up are records you gotta fucking play. So that inspired me to come up with some shit to also be the voice of the club. So big shout out to Scoop.
Lil Jon, I need you to do me a favor, man. A lot of these guys came to support you, so I need you to go through the chat. I just want to shout them out. I want you to shout them out. Just go through this chat real quick. Let's see what we got.
One, DJ Illset, Darth Fader, DJ Spawn. What up, Beat Breaker? Beat Breaker be having some fire bootlegs. Appreciate them. DJ Chris Craze. Yeah, y'all niggas typing too fast.
They're going nuts in the chat.
Shit, that's too. I can't. Y'all typing too.
All right, let me do it. Let me do it for you. Let me do it for you. Let me do it for you. I'm gonna do it. DJ Pulse, what's up? Boy Sneeze, Serge, what's it? Andres Antonio, Lillian Escarte, Noel Dooley, what's up? DJ Spawn, DJ Jojo, DJ KS Jones, DJ Bomba 75, DJ Lil Set, what's up? DJ Case Boston, Tommy T the DJ, what's up? That's UK in the building. Stress TV, Damien Chicago, Dig'em Smack, DJ Chris Craze. That's family, these people here. Be Nice, Confusion, Beat Breaker, we see you, my homie. DJ Pun, DJ DeVille, Club Killers in the building. What's up, Club Killers? Earwax, I see you.
Club Killers, man. I fucking love y'all fucking DJ pool too, man. Dope edits. Thanks for looking out for me.
That's what I'm saying. Missy 803, Crushing It's Heavy. Edwin, DJ Phenom, DJ City in the building. What's up, homies?
What up, Phenom?
That's the boss right there. 559 Juicer, Sam Tweaks, what's up? Lucer Craft. Oh, thank you so much. Lou Craft 1, I think it is. Thank you so much for the raid earlier. DJ Little Fever, thank you for the raid. Bettina, a shout out to you. Kill Fabosa, what's up, man? Koi Fabiosa, DJ Smoking That Thing, Ray Domingo. Man, you guys are in here, guys. I want to keep going, but we got to keep going with this interview. All right. So listen. So EDM thing starts happening. You start playing. What was your first experience at Ultra, man? Like being in front of that? Because I mean, you've been in crazy clubs, but a festival, that's got to be a different energy.
I might have been with Afrojack, man. Me and Afrojack was cool, and I think Afrojack was like, "Come fuck with me," on stage, and we just fucking tore that bitch apart. But I don't know. You know what? It might have been with Aoki, but I rock with Aoki. I rock with Afrojack.
Sidney Sampson.
Who else I rock with at Ultra, man? I don't know. I jumped on so many stages in Ultra, man. I miss Ultra. Ultra's so much fun, man.
That's awesome. And you killed it. Actually, you would DJ some of them too, didn't you? Didn't you actually get on the decks?
I done Ultra like Korea or some shit like that. Not Ultra in Miami.
Okay.
After parties.
The after party.
Not actually said. Just mics at Ultra in Miami.
Okay, so you go through all of this crazy extensive day. You do clubs, you DJ, you rap, you do stuff with labels. I mean, you've done. Bro, how you have time to do TV?
I don't know, but that's the next thing I'm like really getting into. I'm actually starting a little show that I'm gonna do on streaming wise. It's gonna be called Dr. Lil Jon, and I'm like just gonna be doing crazy shit and talking to people about their problems, giving them crazy advice.
Yeah.
But that's coming. But yeah, I mean, and then I have a show that I just got signed to a major network. I can't really say that's got picked up. But yeah, I mean, TV to me is like retirement for me. Like I can do that shit all day. Like, I mean, it's just something when I don't want to be on the road, I could go do some TV shit. So that's definitely somewhere I want to get into. And even just being an EP of shows and shit. So working on a bunch of stuff, but it just takes time. You know, I've been working on stuff for years with TV, but it just, sometimes you get right there and they change the head of the network and this gets scrapped or that. It just takes time. So that'll happen eventually, you know. But like I said, I do have one that just got picked up and we're going to do one through Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. So that's coming in a couple weeks.
That's dope. That's really, really dope. Big shout out to Cleveland Terry. Thank you so much for the raid. We appreciate you, brother. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, Raiders. We got Lil Jon in the building if you guys just join us. Okay, so let's talk about the Dave Chappelle thing. Must have been a little surreal, man. I know I saw a thing with Cypher Sounds and you and him were joking around, and it was so funny how you're like, "Yo, man, you're the one that texted me about Chappelle did this skit on you."
Yeah.
How out of hand did it get, man? I mean, people must have stopped you at the airport. They probably still do it, but I'm saying.
Oh yeah, he changed my life forever because people will forever be screaming, "Yeah, what? Okay," at me till I die, and even after once I'm gone, I think at the funeral they're gonna be screaming it on my casket. But basically, what Dave did was he brought me into people's homes who would never have listened to my music. So people that know the Chappelle Show might not know one Lil Jon song, or they might only know one song. But so he just opened up my audience, man, and just made me a cultural icon by doing that sketch. I mean, Dave Chappelle is arguably one of the greatest comedians of our time, and he did a sketch on me. And then, you know, when I went to the show just to say thank you for doing the sketch one time, and he ended up saying, he says, you know, hang out for a little bit. We'll do something. And that's how we ended up doing this. That's how I ended up actually being on the show, because I just went to say what up and say thank you for doing it, because I knew what that was going to do for me. Yeah. What it was, and I was, you know, I knew what it was doing for me and what it was going to do for me. So we ended up, you know, doing a sketch, and that was amazing because we were basically just doing improv. And then he went back later and chopped it up and made it into the sketch that you guys see now. But that was just us fucking around, and that's a classic sketch too, Lil Jon and Lil Jon. So yeah, that was also a pivotal point in my career where I was like, wow, Dave Chappelle, the biggest comedian on the planet, is doing an impersonation of me. And people that know me say it's very fitting, because I do go from that wild, crazy motherfucker to very intellectual. So I guess, you know, I think I can't remember if I ever asked him how the fuck did he know that I was like that, because I had never met him when he did that sketch. Yeah. I think it was one of our homies, Corey. He manages Dave a little bit, and I think he told Dave like some stories about hanging out with me, because he went to Morehouse and I used to be up in like the AUC all the time hanging out. So I think he might have been like, yeah, John went to college and da 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 da. He was like, what? Wouldn't it be funny? That's probably how it all came about. So yeah, it's crazy.
So you also did, was that before or after The Apprentice?
That was before The Apprentice. That was way later. Apprentice was way later.
And then when you did The Apprentice, that was another like side of you people got to see, because you wasn't screaming or whatever. You were real reserved. And it was funny is, and you had talked about this in one of your interviews, but you had talked about how, because you really didn't have drama with nobody, like Amaryllis. What was her name? I forget the
Amorosa.
Amorosa, that was her name. Amorosa was spicy and very kind of dirty.
Yeah. But what's funny is to take notes on everybody, so she could have something on your ass when you had to go back to the boardroom. But you know, you just keep your head down and do what the fuck you're supposed to do. That's how you survive that show. If you weren't doing what you were supposed to do and you was kicking up dust and shit, that's how you bring in too much attention to yourself and you get brought back into that boardroom. And that boardroom was vicious, because if you didn't fight, you were out. You know what I mean? And doing that show 2 times taught me a lot. It taught me that I could literally do anything in the world that I wanted to do. Because what people don't realize, you start off with, maybe 12 on each team, and then it's down to 4 people. So when you got 12 people, you got a lot to delegate out. But as more people get fired, it's more work on the team. So the less people, the more work on who's ever left. And that shit will get stressful. It'll get intense because of the boardroom. And like literally, like, you don't know what you're doing the next day. Somebody's getting fired every 2 days and you don't know what you're gonna do. So you might have to be the fucking team leader tomorrow. Or you might be getting fired tomorrow. Somebody's was going home every 2 days. That shit was crazy, man. It was really, really intense. And like I said, it taught me I could literally do anything I put my mind to.
That's insane. And what's crazy, you were so composed, man. And you said that kind of attributed how you do your production and how you have to control people in the room, like in the studio, right? Like personalities, dealing with different personalities.
A producer has to juggle personalities. A producer has to convince people to do shit that they don't want to do. Or if you got egos, you got to convince that motherfucker to record this, even though they think they shit is good enough or whatever. So years of being in the studio with all different kinds of people helped me to be able to deal with all of the different kinds of personalities that were on the show.
That's great. That's great advice. So how could you, let's give it a DJ. What would you say to a DJ? How could he control personalities, maybe working, maybe relationships? Because you do, like, think about it. You got all these residencies in Vegas and stuff. How do you feel like your business, you know, and now that you have this business personality, which you've been in decades, I mean, 24 years, right? Plus, how do you think that's helped you? Like, how do you think you negotiate? Does your booking agent do a lot? Do you contribute some of that stuff?
No, I'm with Scam Artists. Suja takes care of all of that shit. I kind of stay out of it. But I mean, you definitely have certain relationships with the staff at the club, the waitresses, the bartenders, the barbacks, the managers, the hosts. Like you have to develop relationships with people to look out for you, because you're gonna have guests come in or whatever. So you're an asshole. People not gonna want to do shit for you. So you gotta always be respectable to everybody. I try to treat everybody the same and treat everybody with respect. You know what I mean? I think that's how we should all live life in general. Just show everybody some love. Don't just because you're in a better position or you have more money or whatever than someone else, you shouldn't talk down to them or treat them any differently than you treat anybody else.
That's so good. Great advice. Great advice. By the way, Scam Artist is in the chat. Big shout out to Suja. We see you, brother. Shout out to you.
No drinking yet. No drinking, Suja. No drinking.
No drinking. Back. Shout out to Von Kiss. We see you. DJ Spider's in the chat. I mean, everybody's in here, man. They're all watching you today. All right. So, all right. I want to go over some cool stuff you've done. I mean, obviously, you have all the crazy stuff that you do. You see stuff on stage. You've talked about all this stuff. Talk to me about this one time going to a radio station, stopping by the sex shop and bringing the vibrating panties. And so some viewer comes to the show, and she's there to pick up tickets.
Yeah, so my homeboy, shout out to DJ Franzen. Y'all gotta follow DJ Franzen on Twitch too. So DJ Franzen was on the radio in Vegas, and we were at the time. I was at the Hard Rock, and I guess the Hard Rock had a little store where you could pick up some toys. So on our way leaving the hotel, we passing by this store, and I just look in and I see some shit. I'm like, let's go in and get some shit we can take to the radio station.
Yeah.
Because I'm just wild, and I'm like, we gotta have fun. It's Lil Jon. I gotta be crazy. So we see some vibrating panties, and I'm like, this would be cool to zap somebody while they're on the air with the fucking remote. So yeah, we pick up the vibrating panties, and we go, and yeah, I guess somebody won some tickets, so we had her put them on, and then we were talking to her, and I was zapping her while she was talking. Pretty hilarious. I think Franzen even still has that interview. He has that shit still.
Guys, you got to look it up. What's funny is the interviewer was talking about it, how he got the call from whoever the boss was.
Right.
Was like, what's happening right now? Guys, what's happening right now?
Yeah. I think he got suspended.
Probably something like that.
We were on the air. I might have brought like 3 bottles of Patron. I was drinking Patron at the time, so I brought bottles to the station and all kind of shit, and it was just wild, like wild. That was in the old Lil Jon days. He was super wild.
Dude, that was like 2 years ago.
No, I was 10 years ago.
No, I'm messaging. No, that's cool. All right, good. So, I want to talk about so there's like so many stories, man. I mean, like literally, I have notes here. I can have you here all day, and I don't want to do that, but I want to because I want to be respectful of your time. But let's go into. I have a feeling like shout out to my people in the Bay. They went nuts while we were talking about that. But let's talk about the Mac Dre. Ain't no telling. I know you did that record. You had to get the tapes baked. You know what I mean? Because it was actual reels.
Yeah.
And it was a whole thing. Like, how did that come together? And and what was the result after?
It was quite the process of just even finding someone from Mac Dre's team that had tapes, like old files. So we shout out to Kiki. She talked to the Underdog. The Underdog had some original master tapes from Dre. I think it was maybe like 10 or 15 tapes. So we talked to Mac Dre's mom. She was cool. Talked to the Underdog. He was cool with getting us the tapes. So we got the tapes. But in finding, we had to find specific machines that the tapes were recorded on. And then once we found the machines, the engineers were like, well, you got to bake these tapes before you play them, or they could tear up or disintegrate when you try to put them on the reel. So we were like, what? So we had to bake the tapes for a day or so or whatever. So that took time. So once they finally got all of that process done, then we had to digitize everything. So they take everything, put it into digital form. And then, so me and I produced Ain't No Telling with my boy DJ Chronic. Shout out DJ Chronic. So I sent everything to Chronic and had Chronic kind of like put it together, like catalog it, so to speak. And we started to like figure out pieces of the song we wanted to use. So it was just a really long process from just finding someone to then just getting vocals chopped up to figuring out what could be a hook and what could be a verse. I think for Ain't No Telling, we combined 2 different songs together to make that. And then even just finding the right beat. I think I went to 20 or 30 beats to find something that felt good. And that beat actually was, we did 20 or 30 brand new beats, but none of those to me felt like the right one. And then I was like, let's try this one that we did. We did a remix with Janet Jackson that she didn't use. Yeah. And I was like, let's try that beat just to see what it sounded like, because it had the blow the whistle bass sound on it. So I had only used that bass sound on Blow the Whistle, nothing else. So I was like, let's try it. And so we put the vocals on that beat and it worked. I was like, okay, that's it. So, I mean, yeah, it was quite a task, but it was really cool to do. And I think it turned out great.
That was amazing. So you actually have a big, you've contributed a lot to the Bay Area sound, which is crazy because, people think of you from Atlanta. They think of you, I mean, because you have so many genres, like think about the crunk, the EDM, the the shots, whatever, all this stuff. Some of the Latin stuff with the Pitbull, it's got that Latin vibe, the Capleton. So let's talk about like kind of how you do you ever have like do you go on a series of sounds, or do you kind of like skimp all over the place now? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just do whatever. It is today, okay, let's go jump on this. Okay, today, let's go jump on that. Like, that's pretty much how it is. It's like to me, it's nothing I can't do. I can hype up selling fucking chocolate milk if I wanted to. I could sell motherfucking condoms. I could hype up anything. So it don't matter to me. You send me the beat. As long as I vibe to the beat, I can fucking put something on that shit.
It's kind of the interview, right, with E40 when he's like, Lil Jon calls you. He's like, tomorrow we're going to eat really early at this place in Atlanta. And then we're going to rest for a little bit. And at 3 o'clock, we're at the studio. Right. And we're going to do up-tempo beats.
Yeah, that's how you just plan it out. And, well, that's also how I feel like I get shit done. Yeah. I have a schedule. I have a bunch of little goals to get to the big goal. Y'all heard me. I'm going to say it again. Y'all can use this if you want.
Let's do it.
Set yourself a bunch of little goals to get you to the big goal faster, because sometimes you got all these big goals. You never finish those because they're taking longer and there's more shit and then blah, 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 you're all over the place. But if you got a bunch of little goals, you knock those out and they get you to the big goal.
I love that. Guys, y'all better put the ones in the chat if you hear that, because I think that was great advice. All right, let's talk about your son, man. Let's get into that. I know he at 11, you put him in Scratch Academy, right? Yeah. Got him in his little thing. He was 11, and then talk to me about that and how he transitioned into Clive Davis.
I knew he was ready when we would be in the car, and you know how DJs mixing, he could tell what song was coming in. I was like, okay, he's got a DJ ear. And then he was like, I want to learn how to DJ, So, yeah, he started at Scratch Academy at 11. He's had numerous mentors that were turntablists. He interned at Power 106 in LA for a while. He DJed in clubs in LA for a while. He DJed New York clubs like One Oak, Up and Down. But yeah, when he went to New York for school, he started to really dive more into production. He had been doing remixes and like bootlegs from like 14. I think he put his first bootleg on DJ City at like 14 years old.
Wow.
So he's had the producer in him, but when he went to school and learned all of this stuff, he started to really want to produce more. And so he graduated this year from Clive Davis's program at NYU. And he put out his first single called Move Through Fire right after he graduated. So that was great. And then while we've been home on this pandemic, we both got inspired and we just started kind of working together. And that's great for me as someone with so much knowledge to share that with my son. Like every father wants to pass down something to your son, and all of these years of hard work and just learning so much about myself and just the industry and everything and production and all of this stuff. I feel so good to be able to give that to him. Like when we're in the studio and showing him how to do this and showing him how to do that. And it's just also fun to be in the studio and to like just listen to his ideas and be like, yeah, that's a good idea. Like, yeah, let's do that. You know, like he's pushed me a couple of times. We've been working and made me go in a different direction I wasn't thinking about, but it was dope. So, you know, we still, you know, figuring it out together, but it's actually really, really fun. And it just touches me sometimes when I think about it. Like I remember before he was born, I knew he was always going to be some kind of way musically inclined, because before he was born, I remember I was in the studio and his mom was with me and she was pregnant with him. And every time I would push play on the drum machine, he would kick. And when I pushed stop, he stopped kicking. So that was the first thing. Was like, okay, he likes music. And then when, you know, he was a little baby crawling around the house, I remember I had a little studio room in the back room of my house, and he'll crawl back there and hit on the drum pad. Couldn't even stand up, but I'll hold him and he'll hit on the drum pads. And to go from all of that to now, we put out a single together, you know what I mean? The brand new Ying Yang Twins, Twerking in the Mirror. Ying Yang Twins, Twerking in the Mirror, produced by yours truly, Lil Jon, and my son, Young Slade. That shit was just like, that is like, wow, like life coming all the way full circle. So we doing a lot of shit together. We got more songs on Ying Yang. We got one on Sweetie. We just did one for Cash Doll. That's crazy. So we're working, and it's just really, really cool. Really cool.
What's it go by, John? So we can put his handle up.
Young Slade, DJ Young Slade.
DJ Young Slade.
A lot of y'all already know him because he's in the DJ circle. He's out there doing his thing.
Oh, that's what. So Cleveland Terry just brought something up that Slade did something for Scratch Academy or something. Oh, wait, was something? Well, he actually studied at Slade, Scratch Academy. Let's see what
he's down with right now with the Serato DJ program too.
He said Slade DJ with me at the Will Smith School. Not sure if Lil Jon remembers that. Still got the picture.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh damn, you were there? Okay. Yeah, I was at that event. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Cleveland Terry. That's family right there. Big shout out to him. Yo, so let's talk about that a little bit. What's funny is you talk about him coming back from Clive and being like, okay, I'm gonna track you. Remember, you were like, yo, we got to record some vocals, and he's tracking you. So that must have been like just surreal in general.
Yeah. So when he first went away to school, it's funny because like when you working with like an artist like me that's been around 20 years, like we record very fast, we in and out, boom, boom, boom. So when he first came home from school, I was like, yo, record me, because he's learning engineering. So I was like, record me. So I'm like, oh, that's really cool. My son, you know what I mean, can now be the engineer, but he's slow. You know what I mean? He's like, oh my gosh. So the next time he comes back, he's faster. The next time he's faster. And now he got it all. He knows it, and he could, you know, really be my engineer if I wanted to. But while he was at school, he was interning in studios. So he picked up a lot of knowledge by, you know, not just school, but all the other stuff he was doing as well. So yeah, it's awesome that he is the engineer for the house right now while everything's going on.
Does he ever tell you that's whack, Dad? Dad, I don't like that? Or let's change it?
You don't like a lot of shit. But I'm like, you got to trust me. I ain't been recording a lot of vocals, but, you know, on the production side, it's just sometimes I have a vision for something and he has a vision for something. So we have to come together and make that vision be coherent, you know what I mean, together. So that's all that is.
Got it. All right. So we went through a lot of history. We talked about your son. We talked about a lot of the music things. We got hyped and we talked about the streaming. So let's end it off with a bang. I think streaming is something that a lot of these people here are into, and they want to know about you, and they want to know about what you're doing with streaming. So first, let's talk about when this whole thing went down. How did you start streaming? You started Instagram, you started Facebook. How'd that go?
Yeah. So when I took I think I came off the road first week of March. Well, second week of March. It's crazy because spring break was just getting started. I did 1 week of spring break. For most DJs out there, I'm sure spring break is your busiest fucking time of the year. So first week of spring break, I'm in the Bahamas. Come home, I'm supposed to go to fucking like Cancun and all that shit the next week. It's a wrap. So home, I started to see D-Nice shit. I was in there when he only had like 10,000 people or so, watching D-Nice. And I was like, oh, this is cool. So just watching other people. So I just kind of sit back for about a month and watch everybody do their thing because I don't want to jump out there. My shit is whack. I don't want to jump out there and it's like, I don't have a place for my shit. I don't want to be DJing exactly like D-Nice or like whoever else is out there. So I'm gonna sit back and carve out my place. So I wait about a month and I figure out nobody ain't doing no shit for the South. I was like, I hear a lot of New York shit. I hear a lot of oldies. I hear a lot of slow songs. But ain't nobody representing no Southern music, the South shit. The South shit is the #1 rap shit out. And nobody playing this shit. I'm like, what the fuck? So I was like, I'm from Atlanta. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna represent for the South. So that's how I started. Started on Instagram. And then we started going to we started doing what the fuck? We started Facebook. My people from YouTube hit me and was like, you should broadcast on YouTube too. So we started Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. And then eventually Instagram blocked me out. So I got flagged on Instagram because Instagram doesn't like you to use third-party apps. So we were using, what the fuck is it called? I forgot. It's only one program you can use to stream to Instagram.
Yellow Duck.
Yeah, we were using Yellow Duck and I got flagged. And I could never log into my Instagram from Yellow Duck again. So then we just mainly just was doing Facebook and YouTube. Yeah. And then we just started to graduate into any and everywhere you can go. So now Mixcloud, DJs, you can go to Mixcloud. I'm gonna tell you the dope thing about Mixcloud. It saves your fucking mixes after you're done. So you don't have to upload shit. It costs for the service, but to me it's worth it because you can go live. And like I said, when the shit is over with, it saves it to your Mixcloud account. So that's pretty dope. So Mixcloud, YouTube, you're going to have issues with YouTube. They're going to flag you for copyright. But you don't have to save your live. It's going to get blacked out anyway. So if you just go live and not let it save your live, you're good. I think the same with Facebook. If you do that with Facebook and YouTube, don't worry about it. You're good. And then, like I said earlier, I have Vimeo. Vimeo also stores all my shit. And a lot of y'all forgot about Periscope. Your Twitter is linked to your Periscope. So you go to Periscope, go live to Periscope, and it goes to your Twitter followers and lets them motherfuckers know that you're live. And Periscope also archives your shows. So if you want all of your past broadcasts, you can download it in HD quality. And if you want to do whatever with it, you can do whatever with it. But so, that's what I'm doing right now.
Got it. Caution is heavy. We see you, brother. So
charger. Oh.
Yeah, do your charger. All right, let's do a couple shout outs really quickly. Let's do this quick. Y'all ready? Here we go. DJ Cray, DJ Aiden Scott, what's up, family? How you doing? Unico NYC, what's up? Caution is heavy. True School, we see you. DJ Controversial, what up? EA492, ADR 101, that's DJ ADR. Cashmere Music, Dig'em Smack, what up? Sideshow Mel, DJ Lookout, DJ Unique, Mike Marquez, what up? Marcy Baby, DJ Stress TV, Andres Antonio. Yeah, so that's interesting there, what you're saying, though. So if you had to pick one, let's say it was somebody starting out, what would you tell them to use?
Well, Facebook. I'm going to tell you why. Because everybody's got Facebook. Everybody and their mama got a Facebook account. you probably got way more Facebook friends than you got Twitch friends. Guaranteed. The only problem with Twitch is a new language people are having to learn. The average motherfucker ain't on Twitch. That's the only downfall with Twitch. It's a great platform. I love it. I love the chat. I love everything about Twitch. It's just people are fucking lazy. They don't want to learn a new language. They don't want to have to they don't want to fucking download the app. People are so lazy they don't even want to download the app. But the sooner you start, the more, in a month, then you got more followers. So don't hesitate. If y'all motherfuckers been hesitating, listen to my fucking voice. Broadcast to everything.
That's a good one.
If you're using Restream or a service that's integrated with everything, go everywhere. What's stopping you? The more you spread yourself out, the more people are gonna check you out. Like I said, I'm also on Scratch Vision. It was pretty dope for me for DJ Scratch to say, "Yo, what you think about broadcasting on Scratch Vision?" That meant like he respected me for one to even hit me up, and he fucked with what I was doing. You know what I mean? And that's what we got to also do. I notice a lot of DJs doing this now, but host somebody's stream. You know what I mean? Like I'm hosting the stream right now. A lot of y'all are hosting this stream. That's awesome. But also host your friend's stream. And I also, one thing I've seen a lot now that I like too is DJs are coming together and doing a whole day of DJs.
Right.
That's great because you're sharing the audiences and you're getting more viewers. I was watching some DJs the other day and they were like, "Wow, I've never had a raid. Wow, I've never had a hype train." And that was because DJs are sharing their stream. So if it's somebody you like, share it or get with your homeboys and y'all line up a day, fucking do your shit. But stream it everywhere. Stream everywhere because you're not going to know what works for you until you start. But do y'all have any streaming questions? Because I got answers, goddammit.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do the streaming questions. We got a level 1 hype train, 75%. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, I need y'all to put in the questions. I want him to go in there. All right, so let's see what we got going. Whole day. So a lot of people asking about you. I'm open to planning one. Have you ever, this is a good question for you. Do you ever raid any unknown streamers? Like, how do you do your raids?
I do. If I hear some shit, like I try to support the Southern DJs because it's not a lot of us on Twitch. So if I see Southern DJs, I'll host the stream or whatever. And every Saturday night, we raid DJ Franzen's stream. That's like the after party from my stream. So I will host other people, and yeah, I raid Franzen a lot. Well, every week, every fucking Saturday night. And I'm on Saturday, 10 p.m.
Let's do that. So Saturday. So Lil Jon, well, we're gonna do the Twitch for now because I want to do that because you got so many channels.
Well,
bro.
they can just go to liljonlive.com and then you can just follow me on wherever.
Oh, okay. Let's put that on there then. Let's put that
on liljonlive.com, and it has also I did something really cool so people can follow. They can add my calendar, my show dates to their calendar. They click a link and it automatically adds it. Google, Apple, whatever calendar service you got, it'll add that shit and it'll alert you like an hour before the set too. So
I love that.
Little tricks, man.
I love that. I love it. So how does that work? Talk to me. How do you get that to get your alerts? Like how does someone set that up?
Service is called I forgot which service it is. I have to look in my shit. But you have to pay for that one. But it's cool because like I said, fucking ad event is that service. But yeah, you can post a link. Okay. Like if you go to liljonlive.com right now, you can click on the link and it says add to calendar and it'll add it to your calendars. So
add a link. It's called mods. If you find add event. We're gonna put that in there. Mods, if you can find that link, this way we can put it in for our viewers. Awesome. Okay, so any do's and don'ts for streamers, like because there's Twitch, there's got to be streaming etiquette.
Okay, this is what I've been noticing that fucking gets on my nerves.
Please,
people, you realize the camera is aiming at you, right? The camera is looking at you the whole time. If you don't have no other shit going on, you don't have any other scenes. Yes. The camera's looking at you. So when you just sitting there like this, That's fucking boring.
Yeah.
Now, if we were in the club, people got more shit to look at. You have to think about this, DJs, when you're starting your stream and you're doing your shit. When you're in the club, they got people they're socializing with, they're drinking, they're moving around, they're dancing. But when they're watching you on a fucking live stream, you are the centerpiece. You're in the camera. It's about you. So don't go live until you figure out what's going to make you stand out and be different. And if you don't have that energy that's going to come across the screen, you got to do something else. Get you some graphics. Or don't just have you big, put yourself in a little TV and all the graphics is the other shit. Yeah. You got to figure it out. Because I saw some DJs the other day. I just surf on Twitch and just try to find different people and just fun shit. And yeah, I just saw somebody the other day. They were just DJing like this. Like, bitch, you making me sad. You making me sad, bitch.
There we go.
I said this on another stream. Move the fucking laptop to the goddamn side. When you get back in the clubs, do this when you get in the club too.
Yeah.
They want to see the DJ. Don't hide behind your laptop, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Move the shit to the fucking side. When you're streaming, move the fucking laptop to the side as well. Okay? Cool. That's my pet peeve right now, man. Don't be fucking boring. And move the laptop to the side.
Move the laptop. What about the etiquette? How people chime in, how people try to maybe raid or not raid, but you know what I mean? Like impose on your stream, like, yo, follow me, Lil Jon. Like,
yeah, I don't do that. Like when I go on other people's streams, I'm not like follow me or whatever. You got to show respect. You know what I mean? So I don't think that's cool to be like gifting out subs to your fucking channel on somebody else's channel. Like I don't do that. I don't think that's cool. Gift out subs to that person's channel. That motherfucker's working hard, you know what I mean, to get people to check out their set. They taking time and effort to do the shit, spending money on the equipment, cameras, microphones, to be able to fucking broadcast live, software. So you should be gifting to them, you know what I mean? Gift themselves to them and not be gifting for your channel on their fucking stream. I don't think that's cool.
No, I love it. I think that's good. All right, craziest thing you've seen on a stream?
I ain't really seen much crazy shit. I'm starting to like the random weirdo shit. I'm gonna tell you the coolest shit I've seen on stream.
Okay.
Boom Bap Kids. Y'all seen Boom Bap Kids?
No. Who's that?
Boom Bap Kids it's puppets, and it's even got a puppet DJing. But no, it's dope though. It's fun. And they only play boom bap shit, like boom bap hip hop. Okay. So is anybody out there seen Boom Bap Kids? Shout them out. I fuck with their shit. To me, that was the most unique thing I've seen on Twitch. Yeah. They got it's like two puppets dancing and then a puppet DJing, right? Then sometimes they have like somebody regular DJing or regular somebody on the mic or hanging out. But the fact that they got the puppets dancing and all that shit was really creative.
That's interesting. Did you ever see that guy that he's on his head and he's scratching upside down?
No, I haven't seen that one.
He has like GoPros and shit, so he has all these different angles. He be at different angles, and you get it's bizarre. Guy, yeah, I don't know his name. Guys, put the name in the chat. All right. So your advice is to do multi-stream on different things. Great advice for the
stream on as many platforms as you can. If they're available, fucking do it. Why not?
Now let's talk about engagement, because I feel like a lot of people don't, they get on and they don't engage. So I know you were talking about the looking at the camera, but what about the actual engagement, talking to the crowd? What do you think about that?
When we came into the pandemic and DJs started to explode on Instagram versus so on and so forth was exploding because people like talking in the chat and they like to be shouted out in the chat. And especially in Twitch, the Twitch family is more interactive than any other platform out there. So, they got their own emotes, you get your hype trains, you get them subs, so on and so forth. So yes, you definitely got to shout people out in the chat. And what, I'm finding out too, the people that are in there every week, make them mods. You know what I mean? The people that come to your set every week, make them moderators, make them VIPs, you know, so on and so forth. Like, that's some shit that I had to learn because I don't come from the gaming world. And, you know, shout out to my homie Big Cheese. He was my first moderator, and now we're starting to get other moderators that are just in the stream every week. And, you know, I've noticed them over 2 months, and all right, you're good. You're VIP, you're a moderator, whatever. You know what I mean? So definitely, yeah, when you're going on, you got to shout people out in the chat. I know you're focusing on DJing. Sometimes I'm too much going on for me too, or I'm in a different kind of vibe that night. I might not shout people out as much, but the interaction is definitely a major part of the streaming if you have not streamed yet. So be prepared to look in that chat and shout people out.
Got it. I love it. All right. So what I want to do, guys, is we're probably going to end this off. I don't want to keep taking too much time. I mean, he's killing it right now. Right now, we got a hype train. Big shout out to everybody on here. One thing I want to do is I really want to get them to all your channels. So we're going to go to, I know that we have Lil Jon Live, right? What is it? LilJonLive.com.
Yes, sir.
And that's where we're going to get everybody following you. We're going to make sure that they do that there. That's where they can get you on all your socials, correct?
Yes, sir. Everything. That's another thing. You have to streamline. The average consumer is lazy. Put all of your shit in one place. Like, I'm sure a lot of artists have link trees.
Yeah.
A lot of DJs have link trees. Share that. And you need to have the bots. You know, you like have a bot in your chat that says follow DJ so-and-so. Like, let that shit go every 15 minutes. You know, I have that going too. I'm sure a lot of you already have that, but new DJs that are getting into streaming, you need to have your bots that can shout out your socials, shout out your merch, shout out whatever you're pushing. I need to actually put in there, get the new fucking
the single.
Yeah, Ying Yang Twins. Scam artists. You need to put that in your fucking chat too, bro. Yeah. Twerking in the mirror.
Twerking in the mirror.
We're probably gonna have it up on the streaming services in the next 2 weeks. So we'll start pushing that then.
Can DJs get it? You said DJs could get it as soon as possible, right? Lil Jon,
hit me. Yes.
Lil
DJ,
Jon, bro.
Hit me. You got it.
Lil
Jon got the Gmail. Yeah.
Yeah, we got it right there. All right, guys, I want to finish this level 5 hype train. Let's finish as fast as possible. We're going to do a quick raid. We're going to get this going here. 1 second. Oh, 1 second. Ask him about making. Okay, this is the last. This is Phenom, so I got to do it for Phenom. Phenom texts me direct. So when he texts you, when big guy texts you, you got to do it. Ask about making music with Chronic. First big one was Bend Over. Let's do that one, and then we out.
All right, so crazy. I think Phenom connected me with Chronic.
Okay.
And his funny story is, I asked Chronic, could he do a twerk song? I was like, yo, can you do it? He did something I think I liked, and I was like, can you do a twerk beat? And he told me later that he had never done a twerk beat before, but he was like, yeah, I can do a twerk beat. But he had never done a twerk beat. So the first twerk beat he ever did was the beat for Bend Over. And that was the first time we worked together. And after that, we've been working together ever since. And we landed one on Sweetie's new album. We had shit in movies on soundtracks. We had one in the Bad Boys soundtrack. Bad Boys, was it 3 soundtrack? We had Spies in the Skies. So we've been working on a bunch of production. So much more to come from me and Chronic 2. And yeah, that's how me and the homie Chronic got work. Yes.
That is awesome. All right, cool. So that's the one. Shout out to Phenom. We see you, brother. Big shout out to Club Killers crew. I want to thank you, Lil Jon, man, for coming on. Honestly, you are like a huge inspiration for a lot of DJs on here. So you're not doing drops, just so they don't crucify me.
Yeah,
you didn't really answer.
Not yet. You can send them, but I might surprise y'all niggas for Christmas or some shit. I might go through my emails and send y'all some drops back. Maybe. You know, I don't know. It's because it's a lot of work because you got to fucking record them and chop them up and then email them back. So it's, you know, but we'll see. You know, it's all love, DJs. I appreciate everybody spinning my shit all of these years, still spinning my shit. I just appreciate all the support. I'm a DJ So of course I appreciate DJs and I try to show love to the DJs. So I will see what I can do, but fuck that for right now. You can get sent this new goddamn Ying Yang Twins Twerking in the Mirror, produced by me and my son, Young Slade. Hit me up on liljondrop@gmail.com. We'll get it to you. And every Saturday night,
yes,
10 p.m. Eastern time on Twitch, Facebook. I'm in YouTube jail, but I'm about to get out of YouTube jail soon. And all these other platforms, scratchvision.com, or just go to liljonlive.com, like it says below.
Below in the chat. Below in the chat.
That's it. I'm out.
And you'll be checking it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for everybody who came out. Just hang on one second, Lil Jon. I want to thank you guys. Don't forget, tomorrow we got Miss Ninja. We're doing our DJs Learn How to live stream. Friday, we got Mojax. We got Cleveland Terry in the building. We're going to be giving away a free Pioneer DDJM 400, the special edition. We're going to have Pioneer show on the S11. And we'll see you guys later. Lil Jon, sign out with them.
Peace out. Peace and love.